Welcome to Make Room with Emjae. Today my special guest is Mr. Ron Ivory.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, Ron. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. So Ron is a musician. He sings, he dances, he plays instruments, and he even acts.
Yeah, I had a little acting job with the Central City Opera House, the Showboat musical production about a few years back.
Okay, you've been so humble about it. That's kind of big time there.
It was. I was just discussing that.
Yeah, very good. So Ron, tell me about your authentic journey from how you got from when until now.
Okay. Well, my journey started basically in junior high school.
Wow.
And I was hanging out with my friends, and they had a singing group, quartet already together, and they were singing and doing their thing, and I'm just hanging around with them, and I never really thought about a singing career.
Okay.
You know, I was home writing songs and making songs up.
Nice.
You know, making things rhyme, one line and then the next line, and so that's what I was doing, other than just with my siblings pretending like we were the Beatles or the Temptations or something like that, or Elvis Presley, in the basement.
Did all of you guys sing, or can you
No,
sing,
it was mostly I know my older sister, she sings,
Okay.
but not professionally.
Sure.
Yeah, just kind of closet singing. And so I'm singing with the guys. They harmonize, and everybody's not like in the hallways and in between classes and stuff. And so one day we was at one of the guys' house, and my best friend Donnie was in the group. He said, "Ron," he said, you kind of blending with us pretty good, and kind of filling in that gap,
filling
that little
vibe.
Yeah, exactly. He said, "You're interested in joining the group?" And I was very flattered. That's probably, for me at that moment in my life, is probably the biggest compliment I've up to that point gotten. But anyway, I said sure, and so we called one of the other guys on the phone, and we sang a little bit. I think we did "Ooh Baby Baby."
Okay.
I'm just doing the backgrounds. I didn't do the lead.
Yeah.
And Mike said, "Yeah, hey, let's go with it.
Let's
roll with it." Yeah. So that's how I started, and then we sang on the street corners over in Denver, and and stuff like that.
Did you make money?
We wasn't smart enough. We didn't think, we wasn't enterprising enough.
Okay.
If I had thought about it, but I'm surprised one of the other guys, because he was really an enterprising guy, then put a bucket out there, a hat, because people stopped the stoplight and we get the blowing and everything. And we could have paid for our PA system.
Right, exactly. That's awesome.
And so from there, I finished high school, and then I got married to, I guess you could say, my high school sweetheart, and then I kind of stopped music for a while, kind of raise my family and stuff.
Sure.
And then, but I still I started developing. I always played around with the piano.
Yeah. Okay.
I was younger. My sister used to take lessons, and we had a big old giant upright in the house. And when she wasn't around, I'd go sit there and be banging on it. So I kept active, underground.
Okay.
And then one day I was listening to a song by Wes Montgomery, a jazz guitarist, and one of my favorite jazz tunes is "Bumpin' on Sunset."
Okay.
And I was so taken by the song. That's when I started wanting to learn how to play guitar.
Nice.
So I started taking. I was 19 then, and I started taking guitar. No, actually, I was on my own. And then I took lessons later down the road and stuff. And moving forward, going into the 80s, I started joining some other bands, and I always seemed to emerge as a leader of the band.
Oh, okay.
I always didn't, that was my intention, but always kind of wind up that way. And so, and then didn't gig much in the 80s, just a few gigs here and there, and it's like, really? And so, and then I got remarried, and then I continued to perform, and then things really started kicking up for me in the early 90s.
Okay.
I had started working on more of my songwriting skills, and and wind up putting a CD out, 13 tracks on it, and it released in '95. I'm very, very proud still this day of that works. So, but what happened from there, things just kind of started putting me on the map more.
Nice.
And I realized to myself I can make a living doing this, which is somewhat unheard, especially locally.
Exactly.
So I made the decision to do that and moved on, and so eventually gigs started coming more in, and my prominence as a artist became more and more.
Okay.
And to now, and I've got about 4 acts that I manage and do. One is Motown.
Okay.
Act. It's called One on One.
Nice.
And Miles Apart Band is kind of the R&B funk thing.
All right.
And then when we have a jazz ensemble called Sweet Tea.
Okay.
And then I do a solo stuff, with sequence tracks that I've sequenced. And it's funny with the One on One group, the Motown group, that was kind of a full circle for me. With my early start with my group, which was called the 10 to 4 back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and I just decided, I was doing a show, like a jazz series, and I asked the promoter, I said, can I do something different, because we was slated to have Miles Apart play. Mm-hmm. And I said, so I got 5 guys, mostly were musicians who sang, or 4 other guys, should I say. It was a quintet, and we got to work the material and got a rhythm section minus, and started that in 2003 of July.
Okay, wow.
So that's been one of my most successful groups, and to this day. So and now I'm busy averaging maybe 3 nights a week. Gigging and stuff. That's good though. That keeps you busy. Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of how things kind of got rolling for me.
So the one-on-one, you guys are sharp. From head to toe, the suit, the matching shoes, and all.
Right.
How do you come up with that theme? What to wear and stuff like that.
It's painstaking because I have to really sit there and think in a quiet space, maybe at a coffee shop or somewhere, and try to figure out what we're going to wear. Sure. We have about 10 different outfits that we can also mix and match.
Okay.
And it's the blue, reds, greens, whites, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, and so I want to determine what we're going to wear. Yeah. What outfit we're going to wear. And I'm old school. We went to concerts. Sure. The first thing they come on stage, all blinged out, and everything. That it's a wow factor. You say, oh wow, even before they open their mouth or play their notes. So, so that's what we did. And then I have to put the songs together in the playlist and stuff. And I also work on most of the choreography.
Oh, nice.
As well.
The steps, very good. So, every artist has to kind of mentally prepare themselves before they perform. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare yourself before you go on?
I kind of meditate. I have to. I hate being rushed. Sometimes, your day, you start piddling around, you start doing stuff in your day, and then you wind up pushing yourself a little late. But for me, meditate, and I have to have just some quiet time to prepare, and that's for every gig. Sure. It's you still get nervous. There's still some anxiety beforehand, and usually I got to step outside the house and go to one of my favorite coffee shops, and I'll sit there and I'll start writing. And then once I'm there, I kind of like 15, 20 minutes. Exactly, because I just had to get out of out of that other space in the house,
It is a lot of anxiety before, a gig or whatever, because it's like, anything can go wrong.
Right.
You have to be prepared for
that. Exactly.
And just how to keep moving if something goes wrong.
Yeah, I try to maintain as much as control as I possibly can, so that anything out of my control, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. But so I prepare as much as possible and get the guys and ladies prepared as much as I possibly can for the show. And sometimes everything's not scripted.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the beauty of it. Sometimes you come up with some spontaneous, like a spontaneous mood, or you start doing some like ad-libbing a part of the song, and you start adding harmony. You say, oh yeah, let's keep that.
That's right.
You know, so yeah.
Or you say a verse longer.
Right.
The audience more involved.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's good. Good times. So Ron, every artist I feel like goes through suffering and pain, and actually that's probably where their best art comes from, is from that suffering and pain and sacrifices.
Right.
So what's been the biggest sacrifice for you during your journey?
Probably my biggest sacrifice was probably my marriage, my last marriage.
Okay.
It's something I wanted to do. I've been doing all my life. I felt I needed to do it, and you know, music, you know, it's part of my soul. It's you know, and when I decided to go full time, that created some problems, and so but I took the sacrifice. I took the leap, and you know, and I'm a kind of person, I take calculated risk.
Okay.
I don't just throw my head first thing in the door, it's in the fire, but I kind of weigh things out, and then if it looks like you know, more in my advantage and something, then I'll do it, and I'll go for it.
Okay.
So that was probably the biggest sacrifice I probably made.
Sure.
But I have no regrets.
Sure. So you've been in business how long now?
53 years this year.
Wow.
53 years.
53
when I first
years.
started singing.
Oh, when you sang.
Sang it, yeah.
See, I can't sing or sing.
But you know, I keep the beat up.
But I got the beat. So 53 years, I mean, that's a great accomplishment. What do you think contributed to your success?
Endurance, discipline.
Sure.
Having the confidence and preparing. And that's key in preparing. And you just have to be steadfast in your what I call your daydream.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I have a little motto on my emails when I send out. It says, "Don't give up your daydream."
I saw that. That's way cool.
Yeah. And I saw that, and you know, and it hit me so much because sometimes in my music career, somebody come up and tell you, you know, you be singing or performing, they say, well, don't give up your day job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They would tell me
right. And so when I saw that, I said, oh, you know what? Because don't give up your daydream, because you know, because that's what I do. You know, and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been most rewarding for you on your journey, do you feel?
Making people when they can feel the music.
Sure.
A lot of people will say, you know, Ron, y'all sounded good, or y'all bad, you know. But when somebody says, you know, I really felt good, your music, when they use words and expressions like that, that's when I know it's, because that's where I want it to hit. It's the heart, you know, and that's where it pays off. There was one instance, we was playing a local club, and it was like on a Thursday night, and this couple came out, and they were at a crossroads in their relationship, whether they were going to continue, you know, get back together. I think they had separated.
Okay.
And so they were sitting like right out front, and they were watching us, and we were singing and performing. Yeah. And then during the break, I went up to him, and the guy and his wife had said, you know, we really appreciate you guys' music and your singing. And expressed, you know, the soulfulness of it all. But he said, we came here to talk about where we were going to continue, and you know, keep our marriage going, or walk away. And after we listened to your band and your singing and everything, we decided we wanted to stay together and make it work. Yeah. So that rings to me every time my story about my music, that stands out to me more than anything.
Sure.
You know.
So really, believe it or not, I mean, it's kind of like your music is a ministry, because it's that message, how you're able to deliver that message to touch the heart.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, in this industry, there's a lot of haters. How do you deal with your haters?
Well, I don't. I don't give any energy to it. I think it's a waste of energy for anyone to be hating anyone because a lot of it's a lot of envy and I'm no different. I'll go out and see a band and they may be doing something. They may be having a real good night or hot night or real successful. And I can appreciate that, and I'll say, instead of saying, I'll listen, see what they're doing. Sometimes you can learn from things. They be doing something in a particular song. You go, oh, we got to work that in ours. And everybody does it.
Sure.
But success. Nothing came to me on a silver platter. Yep. And I worked hard for where I'm at. And if you want to hate. It's bye. So if there are haters in there, I think you need to turn that around and turn that into a learning.
Exactly.
And appreciate.
Exactly.
Because myself, I know in a small way and maybe in a big way, I'm carving.
Yep.
Constantly carving that for other people behind me to come in and do that, and hopefully they'll learn from them and realize the business of this, what we do. Not just the fun and the games.
Exactly.
It's the business.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a journey. So you write music. What gets you in the mood or inspires you to write those lyrics?
Usually when I'm in a relationship.
Okay.
I've written more songs being, in a relationship or being married than I have being single.
Sure.
So they're not always about what's going on. Sometimes it's you write about how you want to feel.
Sure.
And what you look for. And sometimes I can be an idealist, in the relationship part instead of a realist.
Yeah.
So you write about things. Most of my songs don't have to not necessarily doesn't deal with a person directly.
Sure.
But it could be maybe that experience.
Sure.
Or for lack of what you're getting out of a relationship, I write about what I want and what it is I can add or do.
Yes. So what would be one of your favorite songs that you wrote?
One of them, I Want You.
Okay.
That's the first cut. It goes, let me see. I build a fire the size of a mountain. Actually, I have a video out on YouTube with that song. Yeah, my son, he and I collaborated on the production and the direction of it and stuff, and he did the videography.
Okay.
Yeah, so with his company, Envision, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But and the next one I have is I like them all.
Sure.
The more popular ones is the blues one I have, Until I Hear Some Blues.
Oh, okay.
That was co-written with my bass player Dave Summers, and then Love Me, Love Me Not. That's always a good live.
Yeah.
And then and one of my probably most romantic pieces and out of the whole project was To Keep Your Love Around.
Okay. Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So how do you feel the music has changed from the 80s until now?
I think there's a lack of sincerity in the writing. I mean, everybody writes, probably, I'm sure there's people write from their heart and stuff, but a lot of the music, a lot of the artists, I find everybody sounds the same. And, and it's hard to distinguish, who's who. There's the lyrical content. Sometimes most of the songwriting from back then, there's no rhyme or reason. It's everything straight shot. I'm gonna do you like this. And
no imagination.
Exactly. No imagination. Yeah, it doesn't leave any imagination. And
sure.
And I think there needs to be, when the songwriting needs to be a little foreplay, so to speak, in the writing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of just getting right to it and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's what's missing. And because the industry, it is driven by by the market and the money. It's it's just about it's mass produced. Just put out something, a product, instead of back in the day when people really spent time putting a song together and stuff like that. So they're constantly trying to make hits and hit the masses and stuff.
Sure. So being a musician, a lot of times people say you have groupies. How do you deal with that? I'm
a very proud owner of no groupies.
Okay. I like that.
That term to me, it kind of rubs me wrong way because it has a very negative connotation.
Yeah.
And I never applied to it, and I always correct people and people come and say, "Oh, I see your groupies here." I don't have any groupies.
Yeah, right.
The people that come see me are fans, friends, and supporters, and they love my music. They love the band. They love Ron, and they come out there to have a good time. And sometimes, especially in the world today, they get, take that hour, 2 hours, 4 hours to, their troubles away.
Sure.
So I don't have any groupies. In the sense of what it really means.
Right.
And some bands do.
Sure.
And people are just out there that, but, and, every now and then you get somebody who may be a little aggressive or assertive, and, and I...
Pull you off the stage.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, we was performing at one of the, what was it, it was Smiley Junior High.
Okay.
Back in the day. And we was on stage and we was performing the 10 to 4.
Okay.
And we were done, and so at the end there was all the, these young gals was, at the in front of the stage, and wanted autographs and hi, and everything. It was very flattering.
Sure.
It like bing. So but and so one of them asked to she wanted to shake my hand, and so I reached my hand out there, and she pulled me off the stage. And that stage was about this high, and I had to jump and kind of roll with it, and not to fall flat on my face. So that's some of the some of that, that does every now and then, but.
But didn't that make you feel good too?
It does. Yeah, I mean, enough that I still remember it.
Right.
Of all the experience I had. And sometimes somebody rolls up their blouse. And,
Okay.
Exactly. Well, I haven't had that yet.
Oh, okay.
And if I do, I tell them I want to see the price tag. But so there's some fun, some very gratifying aspects, business we go through, but like I said, no one, and sometimes people come up to me, females, and they'll say, they're interested in singing.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're perpetrating.
They can't sing.
Yeah, because the next thing that comes out of the question when I get, we talk about, okay, trying to get them where we're gonna start is like, are you married? Are you single? I know right away that so you've been around enough to weed all that stuff out and keep it moving.
Right, very good. So if you could go back in time and give the younger Ron advice, what would that be?
I would say advice to myself is stick to your dream.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone discourage you. And I've had some discourage, I've been intimidated before by, but and I think discipline is the biggest thing.
It is.
There's some good people out there that are talented musicians, instrumentalists, and also vocalists, but what I'm saying in some of them is lack of discipline.
Yeah.
And get your life
right.
Because you can't handle business and things if you got stuff going on. And you got drama and baggage and stuff. You need to get your life right. So that's what I would. And for me, I wasn't running the streets or anything like so. But that's the advice I'd give myself, or remind myself, or anyone else.
Sure.
That.
Sure. Very good. So, what do you know a lot about? Do you feel?
I know a lot about arrangements.
Oh. Okay.
Coordination.
Nice.
And I know how to put things together.
Good.
I know how to make things work.
Okay.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
And like they used to say, put lemons in front of, what do you make lemonade?
There you go.
And so that's what I'm good at.
Sure.
I'm also very patient.
Nice.
With people I work with, and just people in general. So, but that's when I know how to put things together.
Nice.
And I've been doing that forever, and that's just something I do well, and I feel good about it.
Yeah, that's probably why you've been in business 53 years.
True, yeah.
Very successful.
And that helps you also when you start writing songs.
There you go.
Because it's like a story.
Yeah.
And you have to put all that together and go through it.
Yeah, very good. So, what is the best advice that you can give someone that's trying to become an entrepreneur?
Learn your business, learn the trade.
Sure.
watch how other people do things,
Yeah.
and learn from those, and watch those who are successful.
Right.
Ask questions, and again, discipline yourself.
Sure.
And that's the biggest thing. I think discipline, more than anything, is more important. Is discipline yourself, because that covers a lot of ground in your creative side, the business side, your personal life, and so on and so forth.
Very good. So, what do you want to be remembered by?
Honest person.
Honest person.
You know, fair.
Sure.
Good spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm. Someone told me a long time ago. I was in California, and I went on the stage and sat in, and it was a guy from the old groups, the Cadillacs, way before your time, actually my time too. And he told me, he said, Ron, he was watching me, and he said, you're a catalyst.
Nice.
And that's part of what I remember. People know when I walk into a room or stage, or when I'm involved in something, I think I have a knack in getting people motivated and getting going. Get the best out of them.
Nice.
And if I don't, then they don't want to do it.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Sure. Very good. All right, so what's next for Mr. Ron Ivory?
I'm not sure. Just contemplating. I want to write some more. I want to kind of get in the studio, and you know, I've got a song right now that I just finished, and so I need to get that out and going. I played a few times in the clubs, and I really getting a good response from it.
Nice.
And so, so I'm still thinking about some other things. What's next for me? You know, beyond the music and within the music.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Ron, that's all I got for you today.
No, you got.
That's it.
Let me ask you some questions. No, okay.
We can flip the script.
Right. You better paper. But
yeah, thank you so much for being with
thank
me.
You
and where can people find you? Website?
Yes, they can go on to my website. It's ronivory.com.
Okay.
And they can go to the schedule and look through there, and they can find some interesting things. There are some videos I've put on there.
Nice.
And also, I have a Facebook page.
Okay.
I have Instagram, but I ain't activated yet. You know.
Oh, okay.
It's just too much in your business.
On the IG.
Yeah, I have to work up to that. You know. But they can reach me also through Facebook. So I post a lot of my performances there as well on my page. So.
All right, perfect. Thank you. That's all I have. That's a wrap. Thank you. With Make Room with Emjae.